Hello and welcome to the Nottingham Hockey Centre and to 2019 section of the Men's Premier League. After an all too short indoor window, we return to the raw winter scenes in the hope that winter will not do its worst and bring us snow and ice-covered pitches. Today's visitors to Beeston are Brooklands, Manchester University, who are 7th in the league at the moment, 9 points adrift of third place Beeston. And the Bees won the opening fixture between these two sides in the first half of the season by the odd goal in 5. That was back in October, and Beeston will not be taking anything for granted today. We find Beeston as a club in celebratory mood with Adam Dixon named as the Great Britain and England captain this week, with ex-B star David Ames, his vice-captain, and another former B, Sam Ward, netting the first ever FIH Pro League hat-trick against New Zealand. So some week for the Beeston club, who ended the first half of the league season with a 3-2 away win over table-topping Surbiton, a rare defeat for the Sugden Road boys there, which keeps the top of the table very interesting indeed. Beeston's captain Stephen Lawrence makes his 388th appearance today, just 5 short of the all-time record held by his coach Stephen Wood, and we'll have to keep an eye out on the selection policy of the coach, who will see his record going before the end of the season. Delighted to say that joining me once again in the commentary box today is Steve Musson. Steve, I hope you had a good Christmas. Happy New Year to you, rather belatedly.
Yes, same to you. It's good to be back in the chapel.
Back in the chapel.
Ready to go.
It's nice to be undercover because it's a stormy old day out there.
It is.
Some squally showers that won't affect the pitch or the players, I suspect. As we look at the league table, Surbiton still on top there, but it's only now on goal difference from the impressive Hampstead and Westminster. Bees looking for a slip up from those top two, hovering there in third place. Holcombe a point behind Beeston on 19. And down at the bottom end, it's Sevenoaks and the University of Exeter, who are finding life in this top division hard at the moment. Wimbledon will be looking over their shoulders as well, should Exeter or Sevenoaks start picking up some points. Brooklands, today's visitors to the Nottingham Hockey Centre, will also be a little bit nervous of the situation around them, and would certainly do with picking up a point or more today. Well, we're about 12 minutes or so away from the start of this game. The two sides there warming up on the pitch, and you'll see from the movement of the players' shirts just how windy it is down there. It's a typical raw day here in Nottingham.
When you succeed,
we succeed.
So we listen.
We tailor. And we invest in you.
We are innovators.
We deliver resorts.
And world-class service.
We are always developing you.
Learning and growing.
And getting better at what we do.
Supporting your business.
We make technology effortless.
And more than just a means to an end.
We're the team who serve.
And advise you.
All to help you achieve.
And surpass your goals.
We're super.
We're honest.
And go the extra mile.
We're winners.
And team players.
And together,
we're the managed service provider.
We're Air IT.
We're Air IT.
We're Air IT.
You're number one for IT and comms.
Third place Beeston are the visitors to Surbiton. Surbiton, while they are locked in a battle at the top with Hampstead and Westminster, took full advantage of Hampstead and Westminster's slip-up last weekend. They'd dearly love to go into the winter break with a 3-point advantage at the top. There, a ball over the top has found its way to its intended recipient now. Can Beeston make something happen? Ball comes across. Oh, and Croft was waiting at the far post, but Crozer gets a really important touch to take it away from the Beeston forward, and it remains 0-0. This ball forward now into the circle. Shot comes across, or and it's Croft again who gets the touch as the cross comes in. This time Croft makes the touch, but he can't get it inside Seeger Green's right hand post. Started brightly, but that's a turnover of possession as Gore wins possession back. Plays it back to Marshall. Going forward is to Royce. Here is Parks, back to Royce again, who has Forsyth in front of him. Here is Forsyth, and the first time shot brings us the first goal of the game. And it's Alan Forsyth who's on the scoreboard yet again. 32 minutes in, it's Surbiton 1, Beeston 0. Some lovely movement and a fine finish from the league's top marksman. On the corner. Where will it go to? Left or right, Castle, as we look? It goes to the left, and this is Marshall. Marshall with the drag flick, and Marshall makes it 2-0. 44 minutes in, Surbiton 2, Beeston 0, and Marshall finds the gap between keeper and post player to make it 2-0. A chance here to make it 3. Surbiton with an overload of players, and a chance here if they can find the cross. They can! Oh, but somehow Salisbury can't find the targets. What a chance to perhaps kill the game here. Ball across, Salisbury, dearie me, just can't get the stick in the right place. In the corner goes to Lawrence, the captain, and Lawrence finds the post player's foot, and it's a penalty stroke. Rich Lawrence with the drag foot, keeping it low, off the post player's foot, penalty stroke. It will be Lawrence then who couldn't find a way past Seeger Green from the top of the circle, but from the stroke spot he can, and Beeston have a lifeline in it. Surbiton 2, Beeston 1. In the corner, it comes in. And another chance here, and Seeger Green makes the save, and Surbiton finally get it clear, and here's Salisbury, and a chance perhaps for a counter-attack as Salisbury with a nice pass to Forsyth. Forsyth driving to the head of the circle, he has supporters with him if he wants, finds the pass, and the ball rolls back to Forsyth, and Forsyth beats Hujwan, and from an opportunity to make it 2-2, Surbiton have made it 3-1, and with 12 minutes to go, surely Surbiton will see this one through. A great counter-attacking play, and Forsyth on the overlap slaps it first time into the back of the goal. That's that left hand side, and it comes, and the back foot shot has beaten Seeger Green, and they're back in it. It's Croft who's found a way past. The ball in, Croft going away from goal, back foot shot, Seeger Green beaten at his near post, 3-2. Chana throws the aerial, it's a poor aerial ball, and it's been picked off by Gleeson. Gleeson rolls it up to Aubrey. Aubrey challenged by Drayton Chana, still going Aubrey. Once it's broken down here, well, it's come back off the foot to Aubrey. Aubrey into the circle, Aubrey with a shot, oh, and it's in the back of the net. And not only that, I think Drayton Chana is going to pick up a yellow card for this challenge here. I thought the break had, or the chance had broken down for Beeston. They get a little bit of luck as it comes back off the foot, but make no mistake about the finish, across the face of goal and into the back of the net. Side, it's been won back by Gleeson. Gleeson playing it forward. Here is Proctor. Proctor driving to the goal line. Pros are trying to find the jab tackle. Ball comes across and it's been put in. Park has made it 4-3. What a turnaround from Beeston. They were 3-1 down with 12 minutes to go, and 5 minutes later they're 4-3 up. What a burst of goals. Proctor driving to the goal line. Proser couldn't find the jab tackle. He pulls it back, and there is Park to turn it into the net. Penalty corner is there to be an equaliser for Surbiton. They go to the middle of Castle. They look for the deflection. It's wide of the target. Is that the last opportunity for the hosts? And it is. It's all over. What a game we have witnessed here and Beeston have a notable road win here at Surbiton. Final score, Surbiton 3, Beeston 4.
And so what a game that was to end the first half of the season, with Beeston coming from 3-1 down to take all points against table-topping Surbiton. Well, that's the sort of fighting spirit that will hold Beeston in good stead for the second half of the season. But I'm sure that their coach will be hoping that the Beeston boys don't give Brooklands a 3-1 start today. They have to launch that sort of recovery. But teams are back out there on the pitch now. Brooklands have taken shelter in the clubhouse for the last few minutes. Coming out now, as you can see, in front of us, playing in their white tops with the blue shorts. Beeston getting stripped ready for action. They'll be brought out to the crowd in a few moments' time. Steve, that was some game.
It was. I think to see comebacks of that sort against any side, it's a bit unique, but against Surbiton was a little bit unexpected, but just shows what happens if you keep the tempo high and you have a will to win. And it was a great result, particularly being the last game before the Christmas break.
I think it's wonderful for a coach to see that they've got that in the locker, that they'll keep playing for the shirt, for the club badge right till the very end.
And youngster scoring as well was good in Nick Park, and obviously the goal from James Aubrey, who's sadly no longer with us, and Crofty as well, who managed to get a second goal for the club for the first team, and he's doing very well at the age of 17. Some
cracking goals in there. You'll see Mark Gleghorn down there, standing next to his goalkeeper. Might well see Gleghorn at the penalty corners for Beeston today. Not being used for Great Britain in the Pro League, who are down, GB side down under at the moment. And out they come. Our two match umpires there, Mark Everard to the right of your shot, and Dan Barstow.
And let's hear it for the hosts, your Beeston Hockey Club.
Delighted to say the sun breaking through clouds here. It's been threatening to throw rain down on us for the last hour or so, but bright sunshine greeting the two sides as they come out here. You see the flags in the distance there blowing away from the flagpoles still, showing the wind hasn't dropped.
Representing Beeston, number 1, sponsored by Wakefield Trade Windows, Simon Hodgman. Number 5,
It's going to be an interesting game, I think, this, Nick, because the two teams here play each other regularly, pre-season fixtures, obviously the league fixtures as well, and they're always close games. I don't think either side can afford to take this simply in any way. It's going to be a battle from start to finish.
Well, I was surprised looking back just how close the result had been when they met at the Brooklands Musson University home ground back in October.
It was close.
The league positions can be very deceptive. A win for Brooklands today would take them back towards that top group.
Well, interestingly enough, there's an argument for saying these are the two form teams at the moment, because in the run into the Christmas break, Brooklands had wins against Wimbledon and Reading, quite a significant win against Wimbledon away from home, 5-2.
The captain would have gone down well at the club. Both sides finding their way back into the outdoor programme after the midwinter break.
Difficult fixture, isn't it, Nick? I think the one straight after the midwinter break, and Beeston ladies yesterday did very well, getting a win over Bowden in their opening game.
I watched some of our feed of that, and yeah, I thought they started brilliant, like a house on fire. But there isn't really time for sides to get any friendly matches under the belts before the restart of the league season.
No.
It wasn't that long ago. We had snow on the ground and pitches frozen.
Yeah, we lost a couple of training sessions.
Yes, I was monitoring. Beeston have a very unusual way of announcing the weather. It's all to do with the chairman's bird bath, I gather, whether it's frozen or not.
That's right.
I find it more reliable than the BBC weather forecast.
It's very accurate, yes. It's 2 feet from his back door, so he doesn't have to go far.
Back to the halfway line. Searching ball forward, but not connecting with the Beeston forward run there. Ball harmlessly out of play.
Both sides have had these slightly higher pitch transfers, and each time they've chosen to feed it forwards, they've not made a connection, and it's just turned the ball over. So, as you say, a little bit of a cagey start at the minute.
Leghorn, such a powerful player. Beeston picking up the ball off the defender there, into the circle. Oh, clever little ball there, just trying to drag it under his arm. And the keeper very grateful. See that one going wide of the post there. That's Robert Turner in the Brooklands net there.
The evergreen Robert Turner seems to have been around for years.
Well, goalkeepers do go on forever. And usually find a place in the background when their playing days are over as well.
Yes.
Some clubs are very reliant on the goalkeeping fraternity, keeping clubs running. Fine old club, Brooklands, a club I've known personally for many years. My own club, Coventry North Warwick, used to have a strong relationship with them. And a couple of names from the far distant past who came down from Brooklands to play at Coventry were Dick Ogle and Ian Taylor. No, not the goalkeeper from the Olympics, but and Ian Taylor went on to be England manager. Formidable pair they were, I can assure you.
Well, as we were saying, Nick, Brooklands has been around since 1889.
Well, I don't go quite that far back, but yes, well established, lovely, sociable club, proper family club.
Constant rivalry with Bowden. Those two sides of nip and tuck for years.
Yes. Well, our relationship was based on the fact we both were lucky enough to have absolutely superb grass pitches.
Yes.
And one of those players I mentioned, Dick Ogle, was a hand stop in the days when you could hand stop not just short corners but long corners as well. And he was wonderful. He picked it beautifully. And then his former Brooklands teammate Ian Taylor would come forward and ping it.
Right.
They pinged a few past me over the years when I was playing against Coventry. In the end, I ended up joining them. You can't beat him, join him.
Yes. Henry Croft working well again, settling himself into the Beeston squad now.
Well, it's great to see Mark Leghorn back playing in a Beeston shirt. It's a pity that Elliot Hybel is still struggling with injury.
Yes, it is.
Hamstring injuries have a tendency to go on. Nice take and turn there by Brooklands.
Yes, Mark Leghorn will be driving the players on today. It's his vocal contributions at half-time are legendary.
That doesn't surprise me. I do wonder about the GB players though who are not involved in the squad at any given time, whether they come back to the clubs with the 100% of the right attitude, or whether they wish they were somewhere else.
That's interesting that obviously we've mentioned Adam Dixon already, but he's always been very good at making the transition between the two and keeping his performance level high. It doesn't work for everybody.
No, it's all down to the individual. And a welcome I'm sure they'll receive when they come back to the club as well. It's a management situation that requires some understanding.
Yes, yeah, it does.
Beeston have the free hit there. Mark Everard. Study in blue out there.
Very much like the first game, this is sort of not too many chances yet. Both sides testing each other out. Decent possession for Beeston around the back.
9 minutes gone. The side showing good attacking intent. Beeston have come the closest so far to the opening goal. Nice quick hands and feet there.
I think key players today, David Flanagan for Brooklands is their top scorer, always dangerous, and he's going to need watching. And from Beeston's point of view, I think the performance of Robbie Gleeson in the midfield is going to be key. He's crucial to the way in which Beeston's play develops, and when he's not there it's very noticeable, so keep an eye on him in this first half.
Brooklands playing keep ball around the halfway line. Now they break forward. Width down the right hand side. Good early ball played there. That was Alex Humphreys. Ball slapped to this left hand side. Lakeholm plays the early ball forward.
He's adapting his play into a defensive role. It's something he's wanted to do. Keeps him lively for corners, hopefully. A bit more pitch time.
Henry Croft penalised there.
Good pressure from the Beeston front three then, just
Brooklands pinned back in their own 23-metre area. Again, good closing down by Beeston. Tempted
good skills
overhead.
from Richard Lawrence.
Tempted overhead, well picked out there. Brooklands lining up a whole raft of changes here, refreshing their line.
Again, good pressure from Beeston there. The second line of the press there was very useful in forcing Brooklands to turning that ball over, missing the pass. Good defence again, Brooklands.
Very good stepping in there, picking the ball cleanly. Brooklands ball just a few metres inside their own half of the field. Casually lofted over the top. A couple of the Brooklands players wearing scrum caps. I'm sure they're expecting a rough game, or whether they thought it was going to be so wet they was going to be playing water polo.
I think Alex Humphreys wore one for quite a while. I'm not quite sure whether that's as a result of a previous injury. It probably is.
Beeston powerfully forward, breaking into the Brooklands half of the field. Bright sunshine keeping our cameraman busy, making sure we can follow the ball. I hope you can at home.
Defensive at the moment, both sides are sort of picking up any attacking moves, and so we've got a bit of a stalemate. I think that I'm sure that'll break up later in the game.
Yes, it's a typically cagey game to restart the season. Both feeling their way gently back into outdoor action.
He used to be very good in later phases of games. The fitness factor is pretty good. It's always worked on. The practice sessions are quite intense, and it's a very young team. So I think if there's going to be a bit of a struggle for Brooklands, that might be to do with a bit of fitness later in the game, but we'll see how that goes. But they're in some good form here at the minute.
Useful ball into the circle there. Wasn't too far away. That was David Flanagan throwing himself at it.
Well, the connection between Aidan Cares and David Flanagan's a strong one. Aidan very good on the ball. He can certainly travel distances in control of it, and David Flanagan's used to looking for any balls fed into the D. There was an example there.
Beeston doing well, firstly to keep the ball in play. Secondly, to put that Brooklands defence under a little more scrutiny and pressure.
Big transfer there to the right hand side.
Plenty of space out on that
Yep.
right hand side if they can exploit it.
The Beeston forwards finding it difficult to get past these rangy Brooklands defenders. They're low, they make good hard tackles, and Beeston players are going to have to stay out of range of these sticks in order to make higher connections.
Just picked up on the wires that Surbiton have beaten the University of Exeter by 4-1 down in Exeter, so fruitful journey for the table toppers today.
Again, Brooklands stepping in well, taking any danger of a shot away.
Brooklands well organised under coach Paul Gannon.
Yeah, Paul's an experienced coach and manager. He's done both jobs at Brooklands, and of course with James Bateman now quite involved in the England setup.
Yes,
it's
yeah,
a useful guy to have around. It'd be useful for Beeston to pick up a corner now, just to change the pattern of this game a bit, really. It's a bit sort of back four transfer work and not a lot else. I think somebody needs to make something a bit different.
Yes, we're pretty much a quarter of the way through the game. Neither side been able to force a corner. Been a nice open game though. Good pace about it.
This is where you need to upgrade your attacks. So having got this free hit, they need to make this, turn this into something better.
This is Proctor going a little wobble. Penalised by Dan Barstow. Barstow gets the Proctor stare.
Classic stare when you've made a mistake yourself. Here he goes, he's got space.
Now, this is a really good opportunity, and it flashes wide of the post. Really should have hit the target from there.
Definitely.
At least made the keeper make a save.
I can think of a number of forwards who would have just hammered that into a bottom corner, Nick.
Yes. The one sitting not too far from you.
That's right, yeah. Yes, David Griffith still remains Beeston's highest ever goal scorer.
Yes, I was looking at some fairly remarkable statistics on that, and we get a break in play later on. I might go through one or two of those with you. $129 goals, David Griffiths.
But there is a player lurking behind him, Nick, who's still actively involved.
Being chased by the current GB captain, Adam Dixon, on 121, and Sam Ward on 100. But as though Dixon's not out of the reckoning yet by Craig Keegan, 72. Another
Yes.
talented player.
Well, he scored his 72 goals in about 60 games, so he was quite prolific.
He was prolific. A good Brooklands attack here.
Both sides are progressing quite well between the 25s, but it's beyond that they need to get a little bit more certainty in their attacks. There we go.
This is more like it for Beeston. Almost the perfect goal there, but Brooklands just able to get a stick on the ball at a critical moment and can break. It really is end-to-end stuff. Nicely dug out by Brooklands, retaining possession.
Green card there.
Well, Beeston not happy with the original decision.
I think he felt it was almost still part of the play, really, when he pushed that ball away. But best left alone, I think.
Views still being exchanged between player and umpire. They can be done at slightly closer quarters now. Dan Barstow calling
Robbie Gleeson.
Robbie Gleeson across, yes. Dan Barstow, one of England's best umpires. Very promising youngster he was. Now fulfilling all of that potential.
He is. First corner of the game.
Found a foot, and it's Brooklands who get the first penalty corner of the game here. And it comes with just a little more than 21 minutes gone. Well, a very entertaining game despite the lack of goalmouth action.
Well, just thinking back to the first game against Brooklands, they've got some very intricate short corner moves. One of which was so baffling that everybody lost sight of it, including Brooklands. But nevertheless, they're quite dangerous from corners, so Beeston are going to need to be very careful here. Stephen Lawrence in his customary role, although Mark Leghorn quite likes the #1 job, so there's two very good runners there in Mark Leghorn and Stephen Lawrence. Whether that'll mean that Brooklands decide to move the first corner, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, plenty of shirts up there for Brooklands. Just pulling somebody back to, I think it's Lush going back to the halfway line now. So Dan Vincent, the player to push the ball out. He sets himself. Two castles at the top of the circle. First attempt is blocked, second one is blocked as well, but at the expense of another corner.
Yeah, Mark Leghorn very quick to that.
Did well not to flinch, didn't he?
He did. It's funny how some players take to this short corner defensive work and others wouldn't be seen anywhere near it.
Leghorn's a real warrior. He'll enjoy this battle. Again, there's late movement at the top of the circle. Good save in the end by the keeper. Got down low and knocked it away.
Interesting shot, the way that dipped very quickly. It's good to get a stick on that.
The injection was exactly where it was required, unless it's one of those intricate ones you were mentioning. But anyway, we're still 0-0 on the scoreboard. Just under 12 minutes remaining in this first half of play here.
I think the coaches will be all right with what's happened so far. It's not been the best of team displays, but obviously at 0-0 with 23 minutes gone. Everything can happen, so staying in games is part of it at Premier League level.
Rather a soft strike there, easily picked off by Brooklands. Gleeson again. Plays the ball into the circle. Good ball it was as well.
Beeston will be looking for a revenge penalty corner now, I'd have thought, so a good time to get something.
A little bit frantic at times. Gleeson seeing plenty of the action.
James Sutcliffe, former Brooklands player.
Gleghorn takes it powerfully forward. Back through his captain.
Slightly longer pass forward to the leading Beeston forward, but timing was bad there, and again Brooklands found that very easy to defend.
Mark Gleghorn takes over the job of the ball boy. Finding it in the corner. Half stop there.
See, not out of range again there, and the ball's been taken away easily by Brooklands. This is a bit of a feature at the moment of the game, I think. Beeston having fairly decent build-up play and then showing too much of the ball to the defender.
Well, will we get a goal before half time? Now about 7.5 minutes, 8.5 minutes away from the half time break. Work to this right hand side. Alex Humphreys there, unable to keep the ball in play. Lovely ball.
Better connection, much better.
Pym going to ground there.
You see, that's a very good run by Gareth Griffiths there, but
yes.
There comes a point in the line that he's running where he's got to think that he needs to win a corner there because he's not got much else on. No support players with him.
It was a lovely ball through to Griffiths.
It was. And he picked it up well. It's just that next part of the process.
Decent sideline ball. I think the two coaches, I think the Brooklands coach will perhaps be the happier at half time if it's 0-0.
Away from home, and they've not been too troubled. Beeston haven't won a corner despite that higher pitch possession.
Be a long corner. James Sutcliffe waiting for the ball to be returned. Back to the halfway line.
I wonder if there was a route in then. I think that could have been taken another 5 metres or so forwards.
Is there something for Beeston here? There might be. Reverse stick shot, didn't get the connection he was looking for. It was right in the slot there. Now Sutcliffe.
Bit of pressure building for Beeston. They need to keep this pressure high and its intensity, concentration. No, that's not good enough there. That's
Brooklands restart again from the top of their circle. 5 minutes left then in this first half. Brooklands play a game to ground at the top of the circle.
yeah, David Flanagan again, a little bit dangerous there, and Aidan Cairns again.
And just trying to lift far too close to the defender. Umpire Everard quickly in with the whistle.
Beeston not quite firing on these higher pitch connections at the moment. They're either behind the defender or they're not picking it up cleanly, or it's a very tight pass and the Brooklands players are coming away with this quite easily.
Humphreys again, out to this right hand side. Shaw. Beeston picking it up off the top of the circle though.
Lucas Ward made a very good intercept pick up there, but again Beeston had the ball and showed too much of it to Aidan Cairns, who quite easily took that off the player. That's going to be one of Stephen Wood's coaching points at half time, I'm sure, because it's fairly obvious that the Beeston players are not managing to get around these Brooklands defenders.
A very well contested first half. Not too many goal scoring opportunities for either side. No shortage of endeavour. Just a little bit short perhaps on quality.
Yeah.
And control.
I think that's right, Nick. I mean, because the defenders are stepping in so well for both teams, the forwards are going to have to be a lot more skillful, quicker thinking.
Promising ball into the circle there by Beeston. Trying to force a goal before the break here. Dunbarster with his arms stretched out wide, indicating it'll be a hit out to the defence again here. 2 minutes to go in this first half.
The space there.
The tram passes along the tracks behind the Beeston net. 90 seconds then in this First half still to go.
I think the tram was a bit more direct than some of the hockey.
Yes, indeed.
It's an unusual game in a way because, as you said earlier, Nick, both teams have got quite a bit of space to work with. It's the product at the end that's the problem, I think. The work in the final third, one corner out of the whole of the half.
Yes, I suspect if we'd seen these two sides playing this game before the winter break, they've been a lot crisper, a lot more precise in their passing.
Yes.
Than they have been. They're feeling their way back into the outdoor version of the game. A good time to score a goal now, though, for either side. 20 seconds or so to go. It doesn't look as if we're going to get a goal, Steve, before the break.
No, it's there we go.
Well, we're not going to get a goal before the break. I can confidently predict. So, half-time here at the Nottingham Hockey Centre. We've been kept waiting for the game's opening goal because it's Beeston 0, Brooklands 0. Everything to play for in the second half here. And we'll be back with all of the second half action for you after a short break. Do join us back here. Beeston 0, Brooklands 0.
When you succeed,
we succeed.
so we listen.
We tailor, and we invest in you.
We are innovators.
We deliver results.
And world-class service.
We are always developing you.
Learning and growing.
And getting better at what we do.
Supporting your business.
We make technology effortless.
And more than just a means to an end.
We're the team who serve.
And advise you.
All to help you achieve.
And surpass your goals.
We're super.
We're honest.
And go the extra mile.
We're winners.
And team players.
And together,
We're the managed service provider.
We're Air IT.
We're Air IT.
we're Air IT.
You're number one for IT and comms.
played at the highest level for Holland since I was 17. First you start as a talented little girl and just go and play, and now you really have to carry the team. A lot of the media, they always write things about you, but it's not important. I know what I can do, and the people that I really care about, they always believed in me. And I've always been a fighter. Even when you think you can't go anymore, you just keep on going because of your team. My position in the field is important, but without the others, I'm a no one. Speed is very important. There isn't room for error, actually. It's just me, opponents, and my teammates. You have to give it your all, no mercy. Every competition we play, you just want to win. When you step on the podium, it's just the best feeling in the world. It is hard to dare and dream about winning, but we know if we play well, we can beat anyone.
The sessions are quite intense, and it's a very young team, so I think if there's going to be a bit of a struggle for Brooklands, that might be to do with a bit of fitness later in the game, but we'll see how that goes. But they're in some good form here at the minute.
Useful ball into the circle there. Wasn't too. It's the Proctor stare.
Classic stare when you've made a mistake yourself. Here he goes, he's got space.
Now, this is a really good opportunity, and it flashes wide. Best umpires, very promising youngster he was, now fulfilling all of that potential.
He is. First corner of the game.
Found a foot, and it's Brooklands who get the first penalty. So Dan Vincent, the player, to push the ball out. He sets himself. Two castles at the top of the circle. First attempt is blocked, second one is blocked as well. Lovely ball.
Better connection, much better.
To the halfway line.
I wonder if there was a route in then. I think that could have been taken another 5 metres or so forwards.
Is there something for Beeston here? There might be. Reverse stick shot, didn't get the connection. Welcome back then to the Nottingham Hockey Centre. You join us just as the two sides emerge from the warmth of the dressing rooms here. Ready to do a battle in the second half. Half-time scoreline here is a blank scoreline. Beeston 0, Brooklands, Manchester University 0. Everything to play for in the second half. Beeston really need to pick up the 3 points today to keep themselves in touch with the league leaders, who were Surbiton going into today, who we know already have beaten University of Exeter by 4 goals to 1.
Please put your hands together for the second half of visitors Brooklands, and let's hear it for your Beeston Hockey Club.
Yes, I think the problem with that first half, Nick, was that all the competition was taking place in the 23s and not in the middle of the park. So it was a bit end-to-end. It was very easy to get between the 23-yard lines for both teams. And the defenders were doing very well for both teams as well.
Yes, that's fair comment. We're hoping for more goalmouth action in the second half. And another latest score, this one for you. Hampson and Westminster 0, Wimbledon 0. So a little bit of a London derby going on down there. Two good sides locked together at 0-0, just as we have here as well. So away we go. Brooklands in the white tops against the Bees, of course in the black and yellow. Now which side will blink first? They've had the 35 minutes now to feel their way back into their outdoor programme. Beeston making hard work of things at the top of their own circle there. James Sutcliffe needing a few touches on the ball.
I think he's been fortunate there to get that, because he had plenty of time to control that and didn't do it very well, and yet he's been given the benefit of the doubt.
I think that was a very fair comment, Steve. Brooklands put in a really busy first 35 minutes. They gave their opposition plenty to think about, and they're doing the same here at the start of the second half. Good defensive work though there by Beeston, who come away. A couple of penalty corners to Brooklands in the first half. Beeston still looking for their first. Oh! Very nearly finding a goal instead though there. That
Crikey.
Pretty close.
That's definitely what Beeston needs to do more of. It's got to be quicker into the D. They've got to look to get shots off early, because whilst Brooklands are setting their defence, they're finding it very easy to pick up the ball. So it needs to be much quicker from Beeston's point of view.
Well, real promise about the way this second half has started here. Big black cloud making its way into our view. Now Brooklands coming on the attack. Good work there by the Beeston skipper, Stephen Lawrence, using all his experience there to get the ball clear for Beeston.
Lots of space there. That's allowed him into the D very easily.
And that'll be another penalty corner for Brooklands here. Good powerful run. And Dan Barstow making his way into the circle there. Had a good view of the offence. Let's watch the build up to this penalty corner again. Good early ball.
Not followed by a defender, so had so much space.
Coming back off the captain's leg in the end. So Brooklands with penalty corner number 3, I make it. The last one was pushed slightly wide of its intended line, which created a bit of a problem at the top of the circle, but the late readjustment almost produced a goal.
Well, the 1 in 3 principle. Beeston needs to beware here. We're going to have to get the running well.
Clever slip. That's a painful one there. That's taken James Sutcliffe. And Beeston breaking quickly, having been awarded the free hit.
See, Joe Sharp and Chris Proctor there should have shown much better control of that. There was a great opportunity for a counter-attack, and both of them have fluffed their lines, for want of a better phrase.
pattern following a very similar one to the first half, though, with not much happening of quality in the midfield. Plenty of energy, just a little bit short of the composure that we would expect from these two well-drilled teams.
Much more of an opportunity for Robbie to get forwards there. That's... Oh!
Well, I'm not sure whether the defender missed it or left it, but either way, it almost presented Beeston an opportunity there. Chris Proctor was lurking behind the defender. Saw the ball late, wasn't able to pick it up.
In the good old days of grass pitches, Nick, you used to be able to lurk behind a defender in the hope that he would miss it because of the surface.
But it was a good chance, wasn't it?
It was.
There was a good chance.
Poor basics again. Very risky. That should be a very easy pickup.
I think Brooklands, having seen Beeston in the first half, started to fancy their chances a bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's far too many basic errors from Beeston players at the moment. And just to match it, there's one from Brooklands as well. So.
Ball played early into the circle.
Sure, Beeston will be disappointed that they haven't managed to win a corner yet.
Well, they haven't really established any pressure on their opponent at
No.
all. It's been, played quickly forwards, bit of possession around the top of the circle, turned over, back up the other end again.
Yes. Yep.
No sustained pressure really from either side, although Brooklands at least have registered a few corners.
This is one of my pet hates, balls passing through the D without a forward getting on the end of it.
Richard Lawrence standing his ground here, trying to make it difficult for Brooklands to...
Not sure that's going to work.
He's a tall boy, but not that tall. Have Beeston had any outdoor opposition prior to this game?
They had a game against Alton, a friendly a couple of weeks ago, and they played in the Cup at Peterborough last week.
It's not possible to have a friendly against Alton.
No, well, no.
A game
but it was a game against Alton, yes, and then they lost to Peterborough in the Cup on penalties last Sunday.
Right.
Bit of a mixed side
yes,
that Beeston took there.
Yes. That wasn't a straight first team game, was it?
It was as near as they could get it, I think, through availabilities and things. So. Still disappointed to lose.
Yes, it's a competition that Beeston have had success in over the years, so I'm sure they will be hurting for going out of the Cup.
Always like the Cup for the opportunity it gives to bring youngsters through, give them competitive fixtures. So they will be disappointed to come out of that competition. can't believe how many times Beeston players are missing relatively simple pickups. Put that down to rustiness or whatever, but sooner or later you have to sort of look at the players and say, are you really concentrating?
Well, I'd put a lot of that rustiness down to a lack of outdoor practice. I'd forgotten about the cups, the cup matches of last weekend.
Yes.
Really doesn't leave them much excuse, I'm afraid. It's
No.
been at best a bitty performance from them today. It can all change though.
It
Plenty
could.
of time left. Either side showing perhaps their best work at the moment. There's still time for somebody to make a name and grab the 3 points on offer. As we said at the top of the show, 3 points would make such a difference to both camps. For Brooklands, it would just give them a little bit more daylight between themselves and the drop zone beneath them. And for Beeston, of course, keeping them in touch with the top of the table in what is looking like a very competitive season in the Premier League. Now Lawrence again, almost mugged from behind, plays the ball in. Whistle's blown in favour of the defence.
See, both Robbie Gleeson and Stephen Lawrence then had an opportunity to travel quickly with the ball, but they weren't sure in their mind where their pass was. So there's obviously an issue with the forwards leading and lines of leading.
Yes, having been unable to give them any credit for having played in the cup game last week, so rustiness isn't really an excuse. What is an excuse, of course, is the constant changes of personnel that they have to. Beeston have had their share of injuries this season to cope with, and of course international stars coming in and out of contention for places. So perhaps there's some understanding there of a lack of cohesion. Either way, it's not a situation that Coach Stephen Wood or his partners in crime, Mark Waddesley and James McBlane, will want to continue.
No. But it's very easy to see the difference in standard between the game, the little snippets of the game that we watched at Surbiton after a 7 or 8 match build-up, and this is a restart post the Christmas break, and the differences are stark, really.
They are. Yes, they are indeed. I suspect that Surbiton won't be showing highlights of that game at their next home match at Singleton Road. Keep them awake at night. Beeston have the long corner. Miss-hit forward.
And there's the first corner for Beeston.
How ironic, it all came from a miss-hit into the circle.
Yes.
Which bobbled and made it very difficult for the defender, as is often the case. Let's watch this one again then. Bit of a toppy one. There's no justice in the world, is there, sometimes?
No. I think this is fairly predictable, that the routine that they'll adopt here. Or will they?
Mark Leghorn there, number 9, would be my favourite to take this one on. He's been starved of opportunities in the first half. And here we are, 30 minutes into the second. Scoreline blank. Will this be his moment?
Brooklands discussing who the number 1 runners are going to be.
I hope they're not asking for volunteers. They've been in short supply to run a Gleghorn corner down. It is Gleghorn, takes it on.
It's a good save.
Very good save by the keeper, diving away To his right-hand side, that's Robbie Turner, keeping the scoreline blank and denying Gleghorn. A few international goalkeepers of late who've struggled to do that.
Good recovery from Lucas Ward, and a poor hit.
Another toppy one. These two sides produced the 5 goals between them. Beeston's favour in the first game between the two sides. Can't see this one being a 5-goal thriller. The way things are shaping up, Steve, 1 goal might be enough to settle it.
I think that's right. So the first game, the goals came quite late as well. Well, I say as well, they've not happened yet, but in that game they were sort of from this time onwards, and it went a bit mad towards the end of the game. Whether that'll happen again, I don't know. It's not shown signs of that. But if Beeston are going to get goals, I think they're going to need to do it from corners today.
Yes, whether those corners will be won as a result of Beeston pressure and forcing mistakes from defenders, or was the last one the only one they've won indeed, which was a straightforward defensive mistake, really. Lawrence again for Beeston.
Robbie Gleeson losing his footing a bit in the middle there. I think
He
he thought he could get past.
He did very well to keep control of the ball there. Gleeson showing exactly where he wanted the pass. It was delivered perfectly.
This is better.
Here he goes. This is promising for Beeston. Taken quickly again by Gleeson and glanced away for a long corner.
I think it's going to be something like that that makes the difference. The speed of a restart, a quality feed into the D.
Gleghorn just pushing a little higher. See if he can impose himself on the opponent.
So a little bit of momentum's lost because of that wayward reverse stick cross.
Those unforced errors are the ones that really hurt you in games like this.
That's not a very clever position to lose the ball.
Could be a problem here for Beeston. Shot comes in. Still not clear. Beeston making life very tough for themselves. Fairly brave defending in the last ditch there. Again, the ball turned over very cheaply indeed.
2 errors in that part of the move. There was no lead from the forwards, and the error was really into no man's land anyway.
Beeston trying to get the ball moving forward again. Whistle's gone. Free hit for Brooklands.
Again, a slow feed forward from James Sutcliffe, and a leading midfield player was just not able to get anywhere near it. retained there.
Just sense that Beeston are trying to raise the tempo a little
yes,
bit.
Yeah.
Realise that time isn't on their side. They would see this as 2 points dropped should they not be able to force the win today. But in looking to press forward, they must be very careful because Brooklands have shown themselves to be very dangerous. More than capable of denting the Beeston defence. Should Beeston overcommit?
And it's this part of the season, Nick, where I think teams start to set their stall out as to where they're going to be league-wise. Obviously, those at the bottom fighting hard to make sure that they can get away from any risk of relegation or playoffs. But certainly the teams trying to get in the top four need to perform at a better level than this, I think, to demonstrate their intent to get there.
Yes, I'd certainly go along with that. Survival would probably be more on Brooklands' mind coming into this game. Still not to mathematically save for anything like that. Plenty of work to do in the second half of the season. Looking at how they're setting this all out today, they're going to be a tough team to break down. Beeston, they have perhaps loftier ambitions, still looking at the top of the table. Difficult season to predict what's going to happen with the player unavailability affecting several of the leading sides. One of which, of course, is Beeston.
Yes. And I think the coaches have done well to integrate the new young lads. I think they were pretty pleased with the first half of the season and how the points tally came, and it's now demonstrating that they can sort of be worthy of that higher position in the league.
Griffiths just has the ball knocked away from him there. Sets himself again.
Very trapped in that corner then. Brooklands very clever at not even letting him have an outlet.
Brooklands able to continue the attack, slightly fortuitously there. I'm sure both coaches will be taking copious notes about good things and things to be improved upon today, and I think there'll be plenty of writing.
There will be.
Books.
There's plenty to work on in the week. Training.
Yes, they won't be short of ideas.
I think I would start with the basics. Now this is better space.
Gleghorn looks up, picks his man out in the circle there, and it just runs away.
See, those moments are always about the preparation of the player in the D. That was with Lucas Ward. Because it surprised him rather than he be ready for it, it's got away from him again and another opportunity disappears. You watch somebody like Sam Ward in those situations and he's absolutely waiting for those little mistakes and he feeds off them because he's a predator of a striker.
Yes, and that's exactly what you're looking for in the circle, isn't it? The goal poacher's instinct.
Yes. It's that old argument, isn't it? He's so lucky it always seems to go in the back of the net. But it's the work that somebody like Sam Ward does that makes the difference.
Just under 12 minutes to go then here. We're still looking for our first goal. This one's clearly going to go right to the wire. Karras powerfully forward for Brookland. He had a good game in the white shirt of the Brooklands Manchester University Club. Big unit. Right on the edge of the Beeston circle.
He's going to be looking for a corner here.
Tries to lift over the defender's stick. Well watched there by Beeston. That ball out of defence has come back at them time and time again.
It has, it has.
A few brave souls wrapped up against the brisk wind over on the far side. Most of the spectators behind our cameras on the clubhouse side of things. For those following the league positions, we can tell you that Hampstead have taken the lead against Wimbledon. That one's still going on, but Hampstead leading by 1-0 as they try and keep pace with Surbiton, who got the points down at Exeter, got their business done early today.
Is Grinstead not playing today, Nick? They're in the in Croatia, in the indoors.
Yes, of course.
Just seen that Sevenoaks are 1-0 up against Reading at the moment at half-time.
Wow, that'll make life very different down at the bottom of the table as well.
Oof, that's not a very clever pass.
It'll be a nervous end to the game here. Neither side will want to lose this one. Oh, that's a big hand. No reaction from the umpire there.
Almost a card, I think that.
Must have been very close. It probably looked worse than it was. Some pretty meaty challenges going in. Robbie Gleeson getting himself up off the Beeston turf.
Good turn from Robbie Gleeson.
Again, he felt he'd been balked, I think, on the way through, but it's Brooklands who come away. Ghosting past a couple of very iffy challenges. Oh, whistle's gone, whistle's gone. Well into the last 10. Now, is there going to be a goal, or we're going to be presiding over a 0-0, Steve? Not like us that.
Yeah, I know. It's. I think Beeston are going to have to be canny here and create a set piece or two. Brooklands' defence has been solid for the open play. Chance here from the right-hand side, very close to the back line.
Nick Park's been reasonably quiet today.
I think he's a really good player, great prospect, and he has been a bit quieter.
In the first half of the season, thought he was outstanding.
He was.
Going to ground a little easily there. He's won a free hit for his team. Brooklands have plenty of white shirts back. Fired crossfield. Is there something for Beeston here, trying to turn it onto defender's foot, but Brooklands keeping good concentration.
Good work back from Joe Sharp there.
Gleeson again.
They've got to keep this pressure on.
Nice sliding clearance. Long corner. Into the last 7.
Just looking at the players in the D, very static at the moment. Need to get a bit of action going in there so that there's defence have to take their eye off the ball.
Beeston's trying to stretch this Brooklands defence. Again, it's a long corner. No, it's giving us a free hit instead, I think. Is this the moment?
And a corner. That's a good time for a corner.
Well, again, it was a fairly messy attack, but Brooklands are penalised. And when you have a corner of the quality of Gleghorns, you're always in there with a puncher's chance.
Well, he's seen Robbie Turner make a good save to his right.
Brooklands pulling on the gloves, the extra gloves. And the knee protections. And other gentlemen's accessories. Gleghorn alone with his thoughts. Big number 9. It is for Gleghorn again. And it's knocked the goalkeeper off balance, and the follow-up shot.
Chris Proctor on his reverse stick.
Proctor's got in there. The goalkeeper was knocked backwards by the power of Gleghorn's corner. And Proctor was able to react quicker there and pop it home. Talk us through this one, Steve.
Well, I think the flick is powerful. It's fairly easily saved positionally. Good left-hand save from Robbie Turner. But the follow-up by Chris Proctor has kept his eye on it, and that's absolutely crucial. The number of times it comes off a keeper and drops in a scoreable zone. So Chris Proctor's done very well there.
So
now,
Beeston get their goal. It's been a long time in coming. I'm not sure that it's wholly deserved, but when was sport ever about getting what you deserved? It's a lead, and Beeston coming forward looking to extend it now.
Now they're better being in an attacking mode than defensive mode, because I can see Brooklands pushing hard for at least a corner, if not an equaliser straight away. Here we go, the turnovers are going to count.
Brooklands will be really smarting. Very nearly the opportunity. And what's that? Has he given the penalty stroke?
I think he's given a penalty stroke.
I think he's going to consult his colleague, though, on the way. First reaction, I think, was the penalty stroke. Well, it's all happening late here, Steve. Very much as you said it might.
But such an unfortunate place for Beeston to trigger that turnover. Totally unnecessary. Dan seems to have stepped out of giving that stroke. I'm not quite sure.
Nick Park was saying about height. If it was a shot
He has
at
given
goal,
a stroke, yes.
It's perfectly entitled to be at any height. And the umpires, having consulted, and Mark Everard on this near side had a better view about where the initial shot was going, between the posts or wide. Had it been wide, then Nick Park's comments may have been entirely correct. But what an opportunity here for David Flanagan from the penalty spot to make it all square again. Like Nottingham trams, you wait all day for one and then two come along together.
How often do we see this at the end of games, all the action? Very good stroke.
No messing there from Flanagan.
Well, Beeston will be very disappointed with that. The turnover with possession in a good place on the pitch has led to all of that trouble, and it didn't need to happen. No messing with this, Nick. I don't think it was straight in.
Ashwin seemed to be favouring going to his right, but no stopping that. That's a goal all day, every day. But how often is that the case, though, that you wait so long for a goal, then you get your nose up ahead and you just can't keep your concentration? You're all saying you're most vulnerable when you've scored, proving once again to be a truism.
It'll be a feisty last 3 or 4 minutes, I think, now. There's still chance for one of the sides to take this. That's not going to be like that, though.
Now, Beeston need to be on their mettle here in defence to make sure that, having come so close to securing all 3 points, they don't give all 3 away. Just over 3 minutes still going on the clock. So plenty of opportunities. We saw 2 goals in little more than a minute. Is there one further twist, or maybe 2?
The readiness of players is very important now. Attackers and defenders have got to be sharp for this. No roots through.
Brooklands have been able to throw a big white blanket across their defence pretty much throughout the game today.
I think Beeston feel that that was okay for a penalty corner, having hit the Brooklyn defender's foot.
And again, I think the umpires are going to consult.
I think that's right. I didn't see any reason why that shouldn't have been a corner, but
Dan Barstow giving the advice there from a distance. The third team, as they're often called, the umpires, getting their act together there. Well, the last penalty corner resulted not directly but indirectly in a goal for Beeston. Seems a lot of water's passed in the bridge since that corner, which must be all of 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
Leghorn's been denied twice by saves from Robbie Turner. The last one fell. Chris Proctor to put away the rebound.
Both of Mark Leghorn's flicks have been hand height for Robbie Turner, so whether he'll think of something lower.
More central this time. Good save again by the keeper.
Very well.
Dropping well very quickly down that right-hand side.
He's been anticipating the trajectory.
Brooklands coach Paul Gannon there, pacing up and down. His team now just 2 minutes away from what I'm sure he would say is a well-earned point, if they can hang on to it. Beeston throwing everything at Brooklands in these closing encounters here. Still plenty of time for a winner. Long corner.
Yeah, I thought that was a long corner.
Yes. "90 seconds.
Well, misses there. There's two misses, I think, there.
That was very strange defending there. Brooklands have been so good.
And there we go.
We have a bit of a discrepancy with our on-screen clock there and the match officials' clock. And that is the final hooter sounding in the distance. So Beeston 1, Brooklands 1 is how it's finished up. The goals coming in the last few minutes of the game. Chris Proctor with a penalty corner follow-up after Mark Leghorn's shot had come back off the goalkeeper. And Proctor reacted quickly. And then within 90 seconds, David Flanagan scoring from the penalty spot after a Beeston body had kept the ball out from an open play opportunity. So Beeston 1, Brooklands 1, a point apiece. 2 points dropped. I think Beeston will see that as, I'm afraid, today. But a point that will push Brooklands a little further away from the drop zone and will probably be enough to keep Beeston within reasonable contention of a top 4 finish. So, Steve, your final thoughts on the game? A fair result in the end, do you think?
I think it probably was. I think that as we've said throughout, there's been a lot of basic errors throughout for both teams, and it was almost like it all came together in the last 10 minutes or so. So I think they were preparing for the better hockey for the rest of the game, the early part of the game. So momentum's still there by picking up a point. They'll be disappointed, as you say, not to have got all 3. But the way that Brooklands played, I think it would be harsh for them to have to drive back to Manchester without something.
I think that's a fair reflection. So thank you for your company again this afternoon. We'll be back here at the Nottingham Hockey Centre with further action from the Beeston Men's and Women's League programmes. Do join us again back here very soon. Beeston 1, Brooklands 1.
The sessions are quite intense, and it's a very young team, so I think if there's going to be a bit of a struggle for Brooklands, that might be to do with a bit of fitness later in the game, but we'll see how that goes. But they're in some good form here at the minute.
Useful ball into the circle there. Wasn't too. Gets the Proctor stare.
Classic stare when you've made a mistake yourself. Here he goes, he's got space.
Now, this is a really good opportunity, and it flashes wide. Best umpires, very promising youngster he was, now fulfilling all of that potential.
He is. First corner of the game.
Found a foot, and it's Brooklands who get the first penalty. So Dan Vincent, the player, to push the ball out. He sets himself. Two Castles at the top of the circle. First attempt is blocked, second one is blocked as well. Lovely ball.
Better connection, much better.
To the halfway line.
I wonder if there was a route in then. I think that could have been taken another 5 metres or so forwards.
Is there something for Beeston here? There might be. Reverse stick shot, didn't get the connection he was